Bienvenidos a Daily Cigar, I am Lizardo and this channel is about all things cigar related. I do my very best to bring you the best information that I can on cigars with the goal of growing the Daily Cigar family. In this video I'm going to be talking about two Habanos that are exceptional for beginners. They're both readily available, easy to find, and one of them holds sentimental value as this is the cigar that I started with. At the end of the video I'm also going to be sharing some tips, things to look out when you want to start in the world of cigars. The Habanos Cigars 50 is a medium strength and medium body cigar with a light gold, almost honey color claro wrapper, and it is 110 by 50 ring gauge. This is called a Petit Robusto. This cigar will last you between 30 to 35 minutes, perfect as a first cigar because it is long enough to develop and build character, and it is also thick enough to create enough smoke that is going to help you pick up those notes, which in this cigar include citrus notes like orange zest. You will also find some floral notes, some cedar, some vanilla and cinnamon that will develop to an outstanding finish of all of these notes intensified. There are also notes of cedar and spices like cinnamon and vanilla on the aroma. The Habanos Cigars 50 is not only a beautiful looking cigar, but it is a cigar that can be enjoyed by smokers of any experience level. And I like to keep a box of this in my humidor. Before I tell you what the next cigar is, I want to know if you've already smoked a cigar, what cigar was that, and what was your experience. Also, in the pinned comment below, I've left you a link to my new Discord channel, something that I've created so that we can keep the Daily Cigar family a bit closer. You know, we can chat, have some discussions, have a bit of fun. So make sure I see you there. The Hoyo de Monterrey is another medium body and medium strength cigar. This one has a light walnut brown color wrapper with two bands, and it is 124 by 50 ring gauge. This Vitola is known as a Robusto. This one is a little bit longer than the previous one, so it's going to take you between 45 minutes to an hour to smoke it. And this is the one that I was recommended to start with, and the one that made me fall in love with cigars. It's creamy and smooth. It is well balanced, but it's still complex. It is refined and delicate. It is a great cigar to start with, and you're going to find notes of pepper, cinnamon, cedar, cocoa, nuts, coffee, and honey. As you can see, all these notes complement each other, making the cigar well balanced. Together with the creamy smoke and the medium strength makes it for a great experience. I've done a full review of this cigar. I'll link it up here if you want to watch it. And before I share some tips to keep in mind when smoking cigars, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, because last week we reached 1,000 subscribers, and I am very thankful to all of you that subscribe, like, comment and share the videos. It really means a lot and it keeps me motivated. But most importantly, it makes me happy to know that the Daily Cigar family is growing. As I described these cigars, I spoke about the flavor profile that they have. Now, if you smoke these cigars and you don't find any of those cedar, honey, floral notes, don't worry. That's not what you have to have in mind when you smoke your first few cigars. Cigar smoking is all about the ritual. So what you have to think about is, did you enjoy the process of finding the cigar, cutting it, lighting it, sitting there for 30 minutes to an hour? Is that something that you enjoyed when you were smoking it? Did you enjoy the actual time that you spent smoking the cigar? Maybe you were with friends, maybe you were on your own, maybe you're reading a book. Is that something that you're going to implement into your monthly, weekly, daily routine? If it is, then the flavor profile, don't worry about that. That will come with time. Slowly, you will develop your palate. You're going to try different cigars from different regions, different lengths, different strengths, and then your palate will start picking up all of these little nuances, little notes that are found in cigars. That is what you have to keep in mind when you're smoking your first couple of cigars. Another point that I think is really important to keep in mind, especially when you're trying to buy cigars or smoking your first couple of cigars, is that you smoke cigars that are mild to medium strength. If you remember when I described these cigars, I said they were medium body, medium strength. When we speak about strength, when we talk about strength, we're talking about how much nicotine is in the cigar. Now, the nicotine levels could really ruin your first experience, because this is something that if your body doesn't accept the levels of nicotine, you could start sweating cold, it could make you vomit, it could get you dizzy, you could even faint. So that will ruin your first experience into cigars. I recommend starting with something that is mild to medium, because like I said on my previous point, if you enjoy the ritual, if you smoke the cigar and it's a little bit too mild, or I want something stronger, but you enjoy the ritual, then you know that all you gotta do is just find a cigar that is a little bit stronger. Now, if you start with something that is too strong and it's gonna make you sweat, vomit, faint, you will never want to touch a cigar again. And this happens to many people because they're not properly informed. So I think it is something very important to think about when you're trying to select cigars and trying to smoke your first couple of cigars. I have done a video on this where I go a little bit more into the flavors, the body, and the strength of a cigar. I'll link it over here. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope to see you on the next video. In the meantime, smoke less, but smoke the best.